Have you ever gone outside and heard a bird singing and wondered what species it was? If you have, stick around because in this video I'm going to show you how to use the Sound ID feature in Merlin Bird ID. All you gotta do is press the button and have it listen to a bird, and then it will tell you exactly what species it is in real time. It's pretty amazing, and so if you've ever wanted to learn bird songs without having to take a ton of time to memorize a bunch of different species, songs, and calls, then this video is for you. So Merlin is a free app created by the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, and it helps you identify birds in a few different ways. So you can identify them based on your location in a short quiz, and then it spits out a bunch of different possibilities. You can also upload a photo, and then it'll tell you what bird it is, and also by a sound. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on today, the Sound ID feature inside of Merlin. So if you don't already have Merlin downloaded, it's a free app on the App Store that you can go get real quick. So go ahead and do that, and then once you've got it downloaded, on the home screen here you'll see the step-by-step ID, which is where it gives you a quiz to identify birds, the photo ID, which can be really helpful if you have a photo of a bird, and then the sound ID. So for sound ID, you're just going to press it and then have it listen to a bird. It'll come up with your location and date, and so that can be really helpful in narrowing down choices. If you don't have a solid internet connection, then it's going to be a lot harder for it to identify birds. It still can do a pretty good job, but it will occasionally bring up birds that aren't found in your area at all. So you do want to make sure you have a good internet connection or cell service or whatever, to make sure that's pulling up the right birds that are in your area. So after you have it listen, if it hears a bird, it'll show it up. It'll show up right here. And then if it rehears a bird, it will actually kind of light up a little bit, and so that'll let you know that it heard it again. If you want to stop recording, just hit the stop button, and then it will bring up a list of all the birds. So let's go to a recording that I already have saved down here in My Sound Recordings. So once you're in My Sound Recordings, it will give you a whole list of all the ones that you've saved. I tend to delete them just so they don't take up any space, but let's go ahead and look at a couple of these. So it'll give you all the suggestions of birds that it heard, and then if we let it play, it will actually light up on a bird as it hears it, and so then that can be a great way to go back and reference some of your old sound recordings. And also if you hear like a rare bird or something that you want to check later, it's good to save a recording of it so you can go back and see it later. Now, Sound ID doesn't work super well in windy conditions or when the birds are far away, so you want to try to get as close as you can to the bird without disturbing it. And also, if you're moving as it's trying to listen to a bird, that can make it a lot harder for it to pick up a bird sound as well. And so before we move on how to get the most value out of Sound ID, I wanted to let you know real quick that I just made a birder personality test. So if you want to see what type of birder or birdwatcher you are, go ahead and take the test with the link down in the description. You answer about 8 easy questions, and then it lets you know what type of birder you are, whether you're an obsessed expert or a backyard enthusiast. There's 4 different types, so I'm excited to see what type you get. Okay, so now let's go over a few pro tips to help you get better ID results when you're using Sound ID. So you want to stay still while you're recording because your own movement can interfere with the mic and give it a much harder job when it comes to identifying birds. And so you want to point your phone towards the bird sounds and hold it steady. If there's multiple bird sounds, you're just going to have to pick one. And also the best time to use this is going to be in the morning when birds are most active in singing, especially in the spring. That's when they're most active, and so the first 10 minutes before sunrise and the first 30 minutes after sunrise is going to be the best time to go, because that's called the dawn chorus. And so that's when birds are most active, and it's when the highest amount of bird song is during the day. Now you do want to check the suggestions that Merlin makes. About 95% of it is accurate, and there are a few times when it maybe doesn't pull up the right bird. So you do want to check it, and Merlin makes it pretty easy to check. You can just tap on a species and it'll bring all of its songs down for you to easily look at and listen to make sure that's correct. But in order for that to work, if you don't have great cell service, you're going to want to download offline bird packs, and so make sure you do that before you go out. Also, if you're using Merlin to identify birds, that is a great way to see all of the birds that are found in your area. Birding by ear is a ton of fun, and Merlin makes it a lot easier. But if you want to take the next step and start learning how to identify birds by their song on your own, you will definitely not want to miss this video right here where I show you the complete guide to identifying birds by their song. Honestly, this is probably my favorite video on the channel, so make sure you go check it out.